Being presented with this opportunity so as an opportunity to take what I've been learning in school and in life and actually put it into action for once in a meaningful way.
To me personally, being involved in education in the classroom, we're called to recognize every single student's, all the differences, all their strengths and weaknesses and things that we need to build and improve upon. So to be in a different country and teach these kids swim lessons and teach them English with different resources that I might be used to in the States was definitely a bit of a wake-up call. Showed me some things that I was taking for granted and definitely preparing me better in the future for being in education.
Well, so I'm the person who really doesn't travel as much as I've been to places, but literally not across the world. And to have the opportunity to come and teach these kids how to swim and get to teach them life lessons and how to speak English really meant a lot to me and to our team and to everyone here, because I feel like I was able to give these kids something that for us as a team to come here and to teach these kids how to swim and life lessons and to teach English, I think means a lot to not just them but us as well, because we are able to build relationships with all the kids, and it really taught us like how close the world is, how connected people are, and how we're just one like big family kind of.
I think coming to Thailand was one, just connecting with my teammates and obviously experiencing part of the culture here in Thailand, being the Thai people. But in another respect, it was kind of recognizing the human trafficking issue and how it is such a big issue in our society today, and wanting to actually take some action to help that.
I think the most impactful experience for volunteer was working directly with the kids. It was difficult during the process necessarily to understand the full impact we had on them until it was time to leave, and then you could definitely tell that we had made an impact on the kids and that they had on us too, because it was so difficult to leave them behind. Definitely the one-on-one relationships I built with these kids. I really noticed it on the last day when we were leaving. A bunch of the kids were swarming us, they were giving us hugs, taking pictures, and some of them were crying too, and that made me start to tear up because I didn't realize that I would have such a big impact on these kids, or that they would have such a big impact on me.
I think that just a experience like this and just what our trip was such a great foundation to build off of. I think that there's a lot of great business initiatives for bringing these women and men out of the sex trafficking industries like this mat business that are really just going to be a humongous impact upon these people's lives.
For me, it really came back to the kids. I find it hard to describe just how wonderful it is to see them light up when they learn a new skill or pronounce the word correctly or whatever it is that makes their day. There's just such an innocent joy to it that you just don't get that anywhere else, and I think that really it went past the language barrier in every way possible.
So I think for me, I got the most impact out of teaching the swim lessons. It helped me to grow in my confidence as an instructor, being able to communicate skills and teach them how to do technique, even though there was sometimes a little bit of a language barrier there. And I also think for the kids that it was also the most impactful experience. It was just really incredible being able to see so many kids that in the beginning of the week were clutching onto our arms or just scared to get into the water, and by the end of the week they were able to swim the full lap of freestyle, or even just having fun and being able to relax a bit more in the water.
I definitely think that the third pillar, aftercare, is really important because there's not much you can do. If you can get a person out, then what's the next step? There needs to be something for them to do and support that. There needs to be something for them to support themselves, because what they were doing before was supporting themselves, and if you remove them from that source, then they're just left out in the open. So definitely Paladin is able to provide that third pillar of aftercare effectively.
I see Paladin being effective in combating human trafficking because if Paladin goes to not just the bars but the school as well, it really plays an impact on those kids' lives, and they're able to see a world where they can be the best that they can be, by getting an education and supporting their family that way. Then they can follow their dreams, because when we went to the bar, a lot of the women were telling us about their dreams, but they were saying it was too hard to accomplish. But I think that Paladin can open an opportunity for those women to discover their dreams and fulfill what they want to do in life.
So I think that the idea of giving these kids new skills like swimming and focusing on making sure that they're staying in school and that they have the resources to do that has a lot of potential for helping the issue of human trafficking here in Thailand.
I think Paladin does a great job on its prevention pillar of human trafficking, because when you set kids up to have their goals set on things like learning to swim and learning English and achieving their goals, I think Paladin does a great job of getting kids on the right track to a bright future ahead, instead of going down the path of needing to do jobs they don't necessarily want to, or jobs that won't have a positive impact on their life. Instead, Paladin really focuses on how can we start from square one and allow these kids to a future that they will flourish in.
The best way that I found Paladin being the most effective is their prevention step, which was teaching these kids, we taught them the swimming aspect, but also English. And then I see that Paladin gives scholarships too, so to help kids receive an education, I think that goes a long way for their futures, to prevent any sort of trafficking.